Here's a sneak peek from today's episode.
71% of B2B buyers expect tailored content experiences. And in fact, personalization itself drives 20% higher engagement within marketing. These are huge things for us to take away and to recognize this is a priority for us.
Welcome to the Content Amplified podcast, brought to you by Masset. Our goal is to help you get more from your marketing content. Each episode is a 10 to 15 minute interview with industry experts that share amazing insights to help you squeeze as much juice from your content as you possibly can. Here's today's interview.
Welcome back to another episode of Content Amplified. Today I'm joined by Danielle. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Ben. It's nice being here.
Yeah. Danielle, I'm excited for this conversation. I think it's going to be really interesting to a lot of marketers listening in. But before we dive in, Danielle, let's get to know you, get to know your career and background. And then we always ask, what do you love about content and marketing?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I can start off with the fact that I'm from Southern California. I grew up around a lot of film and movies and was enamored with it. So as I got older, got really into any sort of media I could, video editing, graphic design, anything I could get my hands on to design something in high school. And that kind of led into me being really excited and interested about marketing. So my first job of just getting an internship in event design and being able to work in corporate event design in particular and seeing how, really that is account-based marketing at these events, being able to see all of these incredibly talented marketers go to work hosting wonderful events. And I got to see that as a young intern. From there, I started a branding agency with my sister. And so we did brand audits and designed websites and all kinds of brand research, competitor analysis for brands all over Southern California. And I did that for about 5 years. And then I landed where I'm at now at Bridgeline. I am the VP of marketing for Bridgeline, and I focus on marketing to marketers. That's my favorite part of my job, is that our target audience is marketers, and I get to enjoy being able to share good resources with marketers and all of the technology that we get to create. So that's a very exciting part of where I'm at now.
I love it. And one of my favorite things as well is to talk to marketers, and it's fun to be a marketer talking to other marketers. So this will be exciting. Danielle, today's subject is something that we talked about a little bit before, and it's a concept that I think a lot of people would love to figure out. So I'm curious to get your take here. Personalization at scale. And honestly, it's hard because when you personalize some things, some marketing material, outreach, whatever it may be, that typically doesn't scale. So personalization at scale, it seems counterintuitive. How does that work? Is it even possible? Obviously with technology, but what are your thoughts on the ability to scale up personalized conversations?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'll start out by saying, why does personalization matters? I know that sometimes we get into roadblocks, especially as marketers with other teams. Why is this something that we need to invest time in when there's other priorities, short-term priorities? But I will say this is very important because 71% of B2B buyers expect tailored content experiences. And in fact, personalization itself drives 20% higher engagement within marketing. These are huge things for us to take away and to recognize this is a priority for us. So the first thing that we can do is we can take a look at our data. I say this all the time, but dirty data is going to be the biggest roadblock to personalization. So make sure that you have clean data, you are enriching your data, you know where your prospects are coming from, where your site traffic is coming from, and you have clean data across your CRM, any of your systems that you're using. That is step one to tackling the big challenge of personalization at scale. So I'll jump in and I'll say data.
I love it. That's great. So obviously technology is shifting. Everyone is talking about AI, generative AI, all of that fun stuff. How does AI play a role when it comes to scaling personalization in marketing?
Well, there's a lot of really useful ways that you can use AI for personalization. And I'll speak to some of the greatest examples of this right now, right? Everybody is shopping on Amazon at the moment. If you haven't experienced Amazon, what are you doing? You should go at least search for something. You don't need to buy. But Amazon and Google have wonderful AI personalization that they're using. And these are great examples of how your website can also leverage AI for personalization. If you look at the anatomy of a website, where are they going to ask a question? The number one place on your website that they're going to ask is either your search bar or a chatbot. And those are two wonderful places to implement AI for a personalized experience for your users. If, say, we're just talking about the search bar, if you look at AI-driven search, it increases user engagement by 25%. And in fact, your most high-intent users, the ones who are most interested in making a purchase or searching for content on your website, are going to be the ones who ask you a question. They're going to be looking at your search bar. So using AI in your search bar or in your chatbot, those are the two best places to start to engage with your audience.
I love it. I think everyone believes that personalization will make an impact, but sometimes we really need the data. Sometimes it's hard to actually prove it out. Everyone says that it makes an impact. What's like, results that you've heard of or seen that really come from personalization at scale?
There's quite a bit of research on this. Personalized experience can boost your conversion rates by at least 20%. And within HawkSearch itself, our brand, we've seen that we can actually reduce search abandonment and see up to a 35% higher click-through rate when you use AI in your search bar than when you don't. And great examples of what do I mean by personalization? What does that look like within search? A great example, I'm from Southern California. If I search for jackets for winter, my results are going to be very different than somebody in Chicago's results, right? I might look for a much lighter jacket. It's not going to be weather protected for snow. I live on the beach. And so if I have personalized results that save me time, and it's a much lighter jacket than somebody in Chicago, that's fantastic. Even better, if the website knows my favorite color is red, I only buy red things from their website, or I really like certain fabrics, it'll display those first in the results. And that's a really wonderful way to personalize results, just like in a real world experience where your best sales guy in a brick and mortar store will know the first name of the person who is regular, shops there all the time, knows exactly what they like, and is able to say, I'm not going to waste your time with, these 400 other options. I'm going to give you the two that are the top results for you that I know you're going to love these because I've interacted with you before. That is what you want on your website.
I love that. And a side note from me, I think a lot of people are changing how they search. They're used to ChatGPT and Claude and some of these different tools that allow you to interact with AI. And they're starting to get better at it. Like your example about searching for a coat in Southern California. What's cool is Google trained us to say, give me a red coat or something like that, and to be really brief. AI is teaching us to say, hey, I'm actually going on a trip to Alaska and I need a coat to help me. What would be the best coat that I should wear? Things like that. And so search is naturally changing. And so having AI inside those experiences is really powerful because it's giving it context. It's helping you find other information, and it can pull those tidbits of context, which I think is really cool. And so people, even though they would love this proactive personalization, well, you just can read my mind, but they don't want the privacy of someone reading their mind. They're getting more and more used to actually giving context in search, which is really cool.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. So how does this scale, and how does these technologies integrate into a lot of our stuff? I mean, off the very bat, it seems like it could potentially be a lot of effort, a lot of time to actually build in the personalization. A lot of tools, personalization means you're rebuilding things 100 times over. What have you seen there? What's the technology doing in that space?
Well, I will say back to my first point jumping in. Clean data. Start off with clean data and then worry about the rest. But our tool HawkSearch, it actually does integrate with lots of different tools that you probably already have your data in. So your CMSs of the world, like your BigCommerce or Optimizely, PIM and DAM, that can actually pull the data out from those sources and then surface the right content for a user on your website. So being able to have all of your data sources connected together and have them in a clean, nice workflow between all of them, that's going to really help for you to scale your personalization. So that is the number one key, is being able to have integrations between each of your systems, and making sure that you can have lots more data added into your system and it won't break anything. That's the key to scale.
I love it. Yeah, that's great. And then obviously I love your point. The data matters. Every single integration you make sure that those integrations have clean data as well. Because as soon as you throw in your CMS or something like that, if it's got bad data or CRM data, wherever it may be, bad data will come to bite you. I know I have a friend who's got multiple PhDs. He's studied AI for ages, one of the smartest people I know. And the number one thing he recommends to firms that are looking to implement AI, exactly to your point, Danielle, clean up your data. And then AI will provide results. But if your data is dirty, AI is just going to get ugly really quickly. So we love to be tactical on this podcast, and we're running out of time. So one final question. Any tips, recommendations for content marketers about how they can scale personalization inside their own businesses?
Well, I would say, back on our other points, just to summarize, you should be leveraging search data to refine your content strategy. 70% of marketers don't do it. Be a part of the 30% who's ahead of the curve. That's a huge opportunity for you to be able to personalize your search experience and your user experience over on your website and ensure that you are developing loyal users. You are developing a higher quality user experience than your competitors are. So check their search bar, search for things, break that website, see what they're doing, and see how you can do it better. Leverage your search data. So that would be my number one tip.
I love it. Perfect. Well, Danielle, again, thank you so much for the insights and time today. If anyone wants to reach out and connect with you online, how and where can they find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn if you search Danielle Irwin Colvin.
I love it. Well, Danielle, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's great speaking with you, Ben.
Thank you for listening to the Content Amplified podcast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. And for additional ways to get more out of your content, visit our website at getmasset.com. That's getmasset.com. And tune in next time to the Content Amplified podcast.